Hi, happy weekend, happy Saturday, and welcome to Mike's Laboratory. Today is going to be another kind of short one. I'm going to continue up with the British soldier that I showed you in the last video, and I have the other pieces needed to complete him, thanks to my friend Ed Lee Merritt, who even took a little extra time at Jolanta to take a peek for some of the stuff that I needed while he was shopping for himself. Thanks, Ed. Appreciate it very much, buddy. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and swing this camera around and we'll get taking a look at the stuff. All right. So, oops. There's the rest of the British guy's kit. As you can see, I got a couple Sten guns there, a helmet, and the gas mask in the gas mask bag. So to begin with, let's take a look at the helmet. And it does appear to be in pretty decent shape. It is missing a lug, however, and the elastic is pretty stretched out and done. So we'll have to replace that lug, and we'll have to put some new elastic on here. Other than that, pretty good. Next up, gas mask bag. This again is in pretty decent shape. Snaps are all on there good. It's got all the straps and the buckles and stuff. A little bit of marking here. And it does have a bit of a musty smell. I'm going to go ahead and wash the heck out of it and dry it off after or let it sit out to dry after I'm done with the video here. Be darned if I know how they're supposed to fit that gas mask in there, but whatever. Trim the strings off like we did on the uniform. Gas mask in excellent shape with great elastic. And actually, this is the first time I've ever had one of these in my hands. The elastic is riveted on there, and it's still pretty stretchy. Should work pretty good. Just a little dirty, needs some cleaning. Both ILS are here. I don't know if these are the ones that Ed was making to replace them, or if they're vintage, but either way, they're pretty decent shape. Alright, and last but not least, we got two Sten guns here. One broke one way and one broke another way. I intend to do a little chopping and create one good one out of these two. These are both vintage. One is Hasbro Hong Kong, one is Hasbro Japan. If anybody out there knows which one is supposed to go with the soldier, that'd be great. Let me know. In the meantime, though, I'm just going to cut the barrel off of this one, cut this broken barrel off of this one, and use my pin vise trick with a little piece of wire and some glue to attach the new barrel. And then, of course, we'll go ahead and put a sling on it. The reason why I chose to do it that way is because it's easier to cut the barrel off and put it on another gun rather than do that with the trigger guard or try to make a new trigger guard. That's a little trickier. Okay. Well, we have a little pin vise, a little pin drill for drilling the hole in the barrel, razor blade for cutting her off, and a piece of baling wire for reinforcement. So, let's go ahead and I will get started. The way to do this basically is you take that razor knife and you get it up on there. I already cut a little bit. You get it on there nice and even, and you want to put pressure straight down on it. Let's zoom in a little closer here. So then I'll go like this. And it's better to use the thicker part of the blade in the back too. Watch your fingers, obviously, and just gently but firmly just keep going like this, and eventually you'll cut through. You could also do this with a Dremel tool. I've tried that, it works, but you got to be real careful about how fast you're spinning it, because you can melt the plastic pretty badly that way. So now that you see the technique, I'm going to go ahead and take care of this, and I'll be right back. Okay, let's see, we got her cut off flush there. It's a good idea to leave a little bit on here just so you have a little bit of wiggle room in case you do make a mistake, because the two surfaces need to be pretty flat in order for it to look right and go on there straight. Another thing you can do to make that work good, take a piece of sandpaper. I know I got some back here somewhere. There we go, sandpaper. And just, in fact, I probably will do that. And then just basically go like this and rub it gently on there to flatten out the surface. Could also use a small file for this. Either works, whatever works best for you. Okay, and I want to cut the barrel off of this one. And again, I'll be right back after I get done doing it. Okay, took me about 10 minutes just for the record of gentle and careful cutting. Alright, now the next thing to do is see about how they're going to mate together. And I'm obviously going to have to, let's see, let's get this in the right orientation. I'm obviously going to have to sand this one down, this piece down a little bit flat. You can see it's somewhat angled. So we'll do that. So we'll do a little trimming with the knife. Be careful of your fingers if you do this. As you can see, part of this kind of stuff comes from my job, but I've cut myself pretty good doing this before too, so be careful. We'll do the sandpaper trick a little bit here. Yeah, it's looking quite a bit straighter. A little more off of that end. Let's see how that mates up. Yep. Still needs a little help. Let's do a little more flattening on this end with the gun itself. Some of you may be wondering why I decided to go this route. Reason being is because this guy was in such good a shape, and the stuff that I have for him was in such good a shape, aside from this darn Sten gun, that I decided I would, go with all vintage. I don't very often do that, but in this case I think it was pretty well worth it. The other reason is this particular barrel still had the sling swivel thing on there. Usually what I do is I'll replace them with a little loop of baling wire, but and it doesn't look as good as the original. Yeah, we're getting there. A little bit more, I think. Yeah, a little bit more on this. Obviously, you don't want to go too far, but I'm sure you all get the idea from watching me here. All right, I'm gonna hit the camera off again for a minute, so I can finish flattening this out good, and then we'll do the reinforcement pin with the vise. Okay, I got it cut down to where I consider it satisfactory. What you need to do next, take your pin vise. You'll need a piece of wire about the same thickness as the bit. I've already done that. And You want to go, like I said, or obviously exactly in the middle. Drill a small hole in there. Doesn't have to be huge, or it doesn't have to be super deep. Just enough to accept that piece of wire. And it looks like we got it right in the middle. So we'll go ahead and also you want to keep it straight, obviously. I think I've showed this technique before in fixing other things. It's real handy. And this little drill tool is a real handy thing to have too, for all sorts of different repairs. For gun barrels, it's very nice. For spear gun fixing, all different kinds of things. Okay, we're back. Now, as you can see, I have drilled a hole into both of them. And we're obviously going to use super glue to glue them together. First thing I do, after the holes are done, come on. Oh, what the hell? Must have got a little glue on the cap there. Alright. Oops, a little bit oozing out of here too. What I'll do is dang it. What's up with that? Okay, that's better. What I'll do is I'll take this, just a tiny little drop of glue, in the hole, and then we stick the baling wire in the hole like so. Let the super glue dry for a minute. Yeah, it's just fun watching glue dry. Da, 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 da. Obviously, once it dries, I'm going to cut it off. Test fit this other end until I get about the right length, so that the two surfaces, plastic surfaces, made up, and then more glue. And the pin adds a nice little reinforcement should you bang it again, or should it want to break again. And also, I can probably take this one and create a trigger guard, and using a dowel, some plastic rod or dowel, recreate this one as well. Oh, while we're waiting for that to dry, we'll go ahead and take a little bit of alcohol here, a Q-tip, and we'll clean off this mask. Just got a little bit of dust and stuff inside that I'd like to get rid of. Something that's soft rubber like this, you want to go easy on the alcohol as well. Just moisten the tip of your Q-tip so that it evaporates right off really quickly. I'm pretty sure that too much of it would dry out the rubber pretty badly, or whatever type of plastics it's made out of. I'm not sure if it's actual rubber or not. There we go. That's better. Okay. That's pretty much all the gas mask needed. Just plug the little thingamajiggy back in there. And look at that. There we go. This is in really nice shape. I'm very happy with that. Okay, back to the Sten gun. All right. Once that dries a bit, then you can cut it off. I'm going to go right about here to start with. I'll probably have to trim it down a little more. And that makes a nice little pin. Yeah, this camera don't want to focus all the time now, does it? Anyway, and then we take the other piece, stick it on there. You can see we need to trim that wire down a little more. So we'll go ahead and do that again. Size it up again. Pretty close. I think what we'll do here is we'll just take this pin vise and drill that hole a little deeper. Almost there. Almost there. All right. It's still slightly off. As we'll trim just a little teeny bit more off of that hook. There we go. When you do that, you can also see if you got your plastic surfaces flat enough. And you can also do a little filling in with that if you need, in the crack if you need to as well. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to rub this on the sandpaper a little more. There we go. Okay. Next step is pretty obvious. Get some glue on there, not a whole heck of a lot. Oops. That should be sufficient. Maybe a little too much. Okay. And then stick it on there, keeping the orientation correct. You can line up the plastic mold lines. That usually does the trick pretty well. Come on. And just hold it there until the glue sets enough. Nope, not enough yet. Oh, you. Yeah, this is part of the boring part too. Okay, it's getting dry now. It's holding in place. Also has a little, didn't notice this before, but it has a small melt mark. Too much shit in the background. There we go. Oh well. Still, not a big deal. Okay. We're nice and straight here. So straight that way. We're good to go. We'll just set this aside and let that glue dry all the way. And next we will move on to the helmet. Okay, I have some helmet lugs I got from Cots. They only had brown ones when I bought them, unfortunately, but oh well. These go on. They're not exactly the same as a vintage lug. I think they do that just to keep people from passing them off as vintage, but they do the same job. And we're just going to take a pair of tweezers, put a little glue in there, and just gently set the lug in there. So here we go. And then take tweezers and set the lug into the glue. Just as necessary. There we go. And now we'll just let that super glue dry. And then after that, we'll mix up a little bit of paint once it's dry to match up the helmet lug, or match up the color of the helmet as closely as we can. I do not have any green elastic like this. I think I'm just going to use black elastic and go with it. But I do indeed have the little clip that goes on there, which is nice. Okay. All right. Let's see. Oh yes, one more thing. I'm not going to do this on camera. This video is getting a little longer than I thought it was going to be, but as you know, that the clips for these things are missing all the damn time, and they're a small piece that's tough to find. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get some plastic or some wood pieces and make a clip that'll fit in there. So let's see what we got for wood pieces. I've mentioned these before. I bought a huge bag of, two huge bags of pieces of wood like this. It's like miniature lumber. And a lot of it is really handy for doing stuff like this. I guess the first thing to do is see if we got a piece that will fit into the clip holder. Magazine, actually, technically. Whoever's out there who was waiting for me to correct myself, I did it. Okay, something a little thinner than that. What else we got in here? Okay. That's a little bit too wide as well. So, just to show you what I'm going to do is I think we'll take two pieces like this. And this should be approximately the same. Yep. The clip at the magazine itself needs to be the same size as that, and the little part that goes in there should be about slightly smaller than that, obviously. So what we're going to do, I think, is we'll sandwich one piece in there like that, and another piece on top, cut to the proper length, and painted black should make a pretty decent magazine for this. And then I got to figure out how long it's going to have to be. But first, I think we'll go find out how long it's going to have to be first. Do you think a repro one will work? I got a repro one. Well, I'll go measure that and find out. All right, the repro one is 1 inch long. So we'll just cut 2 sections off of this. Yeah, I thought I said I wasn't going to do this on camera, huh? I lied. That's okay. You guys are good with that, I'm pretty sure. This stuff is balsa wood, by the way. Even so, it's fairly difficult to cut. And we'll match the 2 ends up. And do it again. There we go. Okay. Oops. Got a little trim end on there. There we go. Close enough. Then we're gonna figure out about how deep that hole is in the gun. Okay. Then I found out something else about this while doing this kind of stuff too. Super glue is great for gluing balsa wood together as well. And I might have to do something else here though. Damn it. Okay. Damn it. Alright. That's sloppy. I'll have to redo this so it looks better. But you get the basic idea. Sand the edges down so everything is straight and so it looks right. And so forth. that's how I do these kinds of things. Make this a little shorter too. This one might be salvageable, it might not. But in any event, like I said, it's a bit sloppy, but it gives the idea what to do. I'll redo it so it looks better, or I'll make this one look right, regardless. Okay. Went a lot longer with this video than I'd planned on doing. So, I'll have to bid you adieu because I do have some other stuff to deal with this afternoon. You guys have a great day. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I really appreciate it. Let me know what you think. And as always, be safe out there and enjoy your weekend. We'll catch you on another episode of Mike's Laboratory.